Well. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another Monday Night Lights. It's another episode of 39 Drunk and Disorderlies. We're rocking and rolling. We're here in quarantine once again. Live from my basement studio, I'm joining you, and of course, I'll be your lovely host and story guide tonight. I'm Giant Bob. Tonight we have a wonderful guest, Kyle Lucey. He's going to be a fantastic addition to our Drunk and Disorderlies guest viewing pleasure, I'm sure. He's got some crazy stories to tell us, and we're going to enjoy talking to him. We're going to get raw. We're going to get real. I'd like to bring it back to some of the other hosts of my lovely show here. So let's point a finger around and see if I can find him on the little... Oh, wait, there he is. There he is. Lars Classington here. So let's get Lars on.
Hey, may the 4th be with you, everyone. It's good to see you. I'm here just above Coruscant, I believe. This is Coruscant right here. As you can see, the Death Star is being constructed, but it is not yet fully operational.
Okay, for all you nerds out there, before you crucify in the context, yes, that's Endor, not Coruscant, so it's okay.
So sorry, nerds. So sorry. Good to be here. Yes, and also we've got our other co-host, co-creator, Trevor in the house.
There's a story with a lot of little squares. Where is he? There he is.
Yo. Yes.
In the hood.
Still set up in the house of creation, the house of pain, and very excited this week. I was a little absent last week, but I showed up for a hot minute. And you know what? I think we're gonna get this thing started. Get the headgear off, rock and roll this son of a bitch, and ready to roll. We're so excited to have Kyle on the show. Let's pass it back to you, Bob.
All right.
What's up, guys?
Cheers.
Let's introduce our guest. So, Kyle, come on there. Let's say a little about yourself.
Yo. I'm a comedian and a dirtbag.
I can attest to both of those things. Kyle's
This should be a running theme with our guests on this show. So let's roll.
And I got an obvious question. Obviously, after the last few guests, are there any such comedians who aren't dirtbags? Like, is there maybe they're not funny, which is why I don't hear about them, right?
Yeah, I know. I sort of wear it with a badge of honor because I can't hide it anymore. All that stuff, man. I got fake teeth here, and the more coffee I drink, these just keep getting more yellow, and the others, like the toothpaste doesn't make it white. So it's like, I love getting drunk. I love smoking weed. I love doing drugs. Can't help it.
That's fantastic. So you're gonna blend real well into the milieu of this social scrum we're doing here. This show is totally up your creek, man. So
I think so. I've been hearing about this for a while. Everyone's saying to do it. My friend Paul Thompson just did it.
Nice. Yeah, he's a great guy. So you're a local boy, right? You're Toronto now, living here now?
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Where are you from originally?
Man, we flipped houses, so like we've moved like a bunch of times, maybe 13 times, but like in between that, we'd always like go to the trailer. We had this like trailer or whatever, right? And pretty much like a lot of my growing up was there, like that, and that's where I started like drinking and partying too. Like I started smoking weed and drinking at 12.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Wow.
Could you attest to any of the Trailer Park Boy episodes or
yeah.
show at all?
I've done shows with Randy and Leahy.
Oh no way!
Nice.
What?
Because I do a Bubbles impression. I had these huge glasses, like they were so thick that makes your eyes huge. I got them at like a Value Village or something like that, and they actually fucked my vision up so bad that I wear glasses for real now. But yeah, I know, so fucked up, man.
Oh, what we do for our art.
I know, man. Like I can barely see. I have very bad vision because of these glasses, and I won some competition for stand-up like in 2012, like long time ago. And then part of that prize was I got to do a show with the Trailer Park Boys. So I dressed up as Bubbles when I met Randy and Leahy. So those guys fucking, you know, they actually party, but a lot of it's actually acting. But yeah, like at our trailer park, it's all about, you wake up and you start smoking weed and then you start to get hammered at like right when it starts to get dark.
you started drinking when you were 12. So what grade was that? Was that 8, 7?
I don't know how to do the math, bro.
That's like grade 7.
What about you guys?
Yeah, grade
about you guys?
8's like 7 or 8.
When did you
I was
start?
15. I was 15.
15? Trev, what about you?
Yeah, like 14, 15.
I was a late bloomer. I think I was like grade 12. I feel like I might have been 17 or 18. But I had like shots, like a shot of something or like champagne with my parents or something like that when I was younger. So technically I had it earlier, but not where I was getting drunk.
Well, it was all about how you could get it, right? Like we had to shoulder tap in high school. Like I don't know, is being in the trailer park, is it more readily available?
We had this fucking one guy named Jason who was an absolute loser. He was like 29 and he hung out with us and we were like 12 and 14. And like he wasn't a pedophile or anything. He just had no other friends. We're the only ones who talked to him.
Wow.
Where was this trailer park?
Fenland Falls. Log Chateau.
Fenland Falls.
Yeah.
The Fenland Falls.
Fantastic. I know of this region of the world. See,
Yeah.
most of my family are from small towns, sort of dotted around Ontario.
Yeah.
The other half is in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and spread across the states. And they're not exactly, a lot of my family are not exactly the most open-minded individuals in the world. And being basically the only cousin raised in the big city, I spent a lot of my time growing up out in the country and places like, Trenton, Ontario, and Belleville, and Marmora, and all these towns that are pretty hardcore when it comes to like nothing going on except for getting drunk and getting wasted. So I pretty much got drunk and high all the time. That was pretty much just what we did as teenagers. It was like, well, yeah, okay, so we can ride the ATVs out back and then get drunk, or we can get drunk and then ride the ATVs out back, or we can get high and then get drunk and then ride the ATV. Or some combination of getting drunk and high and riding ATVs basically turned into basically what we did like most of the time. It's amazing how much time, now that I think back on it, we spent drunk or high on ATVs. It's just like not doing anything. Like drive to some place, look at nothing, get fucked up, drive back,
Yeah.
Where's Fenland Falls?
It's like probably 45 minutes like northwest of Peterborough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about that. Yeah. It's a quaint place. The trailer park was all
that's a
honestly
good description.
Yeah, like honestly, the whole part of it was getting as hammered as you can and try to fuck the weekenders. The weekenders are these chicks that like they'd be visitors. Every weekend it'd be like a different, like some chick with her family would come up.
Right.
And they wouldn't know that we like lived there. So we would be like, oh yeah, my parents have the jobs downtown. And meanwhile, we've been there. And like
you guys
so
are
like
you're like carnies of the trailer park.
I was
know,
gonna
man.
say, it was like
fucking
No, we're like gypsies. It's awesome.
yeah, man.
like
My
graffiti
buddy
when it comes
Justin, like he would have competition with us and shit, and he'd always win. It's like how long you could go without brushing your teeth, and he'd go like a week, and he said that it felt like there was like, I don't know how to describe it, but he's like there was like bread on his teeth.
Yeah, it feels like fuzz. Like there's a layer on your teeth. That's
Yeah.
gross, man.
Yeah,
He
I've done like
loved it, though.
a couple days.
I like the picture that you're painting. You're painting a nice vivid picture of this trailer park.
Oh yeah, we always used to fuck around. Like we got in trouble, like a lot of trouble. Like fucking because that's when I started doing graffiti and shit when I was probably 15. So we got caught doing that. We got caught like, yeah, that whole thing that I messaged you guys earlier where that guy sold us weed that was laced with
Yeah, we're going to
coke.
touch on that. So actually, you know what? That's the thing.
Yeah.
In your bios, you gave us a story you wanted to tell. So let's actually get into that. So why don't you preface it with start at the beginning.
Yeah,
Tell it the way you want to. And if we have any questions or comments, we'll jump in.
for sure.
And then it's funny because I read over it and I actually have an interesting story very similar to it. So that's great. You tell yours and we'll do a dare and share and compare. We'll have some fun with it.
Let's fucking go.
All
Okay.
Give me the floor over here, Kyle. It's yours. It's all yours, baby.
Okay. So yeah, there was this like we always try to hang out with these older kids because they're obviously cooler at the park. And there's this one guy. My dad always told me not to hang out with him. And then one time he came up and he was just smoking weed, and we were smoking weed for a couple years at the time, and so like we started smoking some of his weed. But this shit, like I remember all I did was one hit, and it got me fucked, like fucked. This is gonna sound crazy, but like I looked up at the sun and it was like a smiley face with blocks around, and it's literally the sun was going like chicka chicky mow, chicky mow. It was like saying that. And I'm like, ah! Fucking face is melting. And then all these cops come. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And they arrest this guy, and turns out he's trying to push coke on kids to make money, this fucking guy. So he goes to jail, and they're like, what kids? And then I'm here all tweaking out. And then, they question me and shit like that. And my dad was like, he's such a badass. He pretty much like, he talked to the cop for like, I don't know, 15 minutes alone. And by the end, the cop was laughing like, I don't know, maybe the Leafs will get him this year, some bullshit. And then the cops left. And yeah, my parents didn't even really get mad at me or anything like that because they just felt bad. Like that I got like, my parents were all like cool, like Breaking Bad. They're like, you got bad product, boy. All that shit. It's pretty much it, man. Just like got really fucked up on some stuff. And that guy went to jail for a bit too, yo. Poor guy.
That's great, because but poor guy, but
Poor guy. Fuck him.
That let you off the hook, and you were obviously the victim in that scenario. How old was the other guy? Was it another kid or was it an adult?
No, he was in his like 20s.
Oh yeah. And
yeah,
how old were you?
I
was probably 15. I would say around 15. Yeah,
this
it was
guy
really
gets booked, and the kid's just collateral damage, tweaking out in the fucking.
Yeah, so, I was scared, bro. Like when I saw cops and shit like that, I was like slamming like that guy who always used to get us booze and shit like that. His name, I'm not gonna say his name. But he got me a bunch of Vex.
Oh, the worst, man, Vex. The only thing worse than Vex is Rev.
Yes. And it was making me so sick because it tasted like the shit you have at the dentist to rinse your mouth, the fluoride.
Yeah,
and I was pounding it back.
Horrifying.
Yeah, I was like pounding it back. I had crack in my system. The sun was talking. There was cops everywhere. I'm like, this is not a chill time.
That's a non-ideal trip for sure, man.
That's pretty much it, man.
So that guy's MO, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that he's slipping it into the weed so that then you get addicted and you're like, I want that shit, man. And then he's got a regular customer. Is that what he's doing?
I think maybe he did it. Like, I don't know. Like it happened very fast. Like this is all happening like within the afternoon.
Right.
So it's like,
so I have some insight that might be valuable on that kind of thing. I know one guy who was a fucking coke dealer for a long time, and what he used to do is he used to recycle his bags. Like he used the same fucking storage bags for the blow over and over, and these bags got crusty because it's just some cheap ass drug dealing motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
Well, at any rate, one time I went and bought a bunch of weed off the fucking guy, and he put the weed into one of these fucking bags that he used to store like coke in.
Yeah.
But a lot of fucking coke in it. Well, weed's wet, right? Moisture and cocaine, that's a good combination. So the cocaine liquefies a little bit and sticks to the fucking weed. Next thing you know, you're smoking Choco Puffs, whether you want to or not. You don't really realize it. And that's nothing compared to the time that my buddy, this fucking punk rocker asshole we know, fucking sold him fucking weed laced with PCP.
Shit, yo.
And we smoked that shit and then fucking got into like one of the bloodiest fist fights me and my friend have ever been in because he said something and I just fucking punched his face in. And then he like fucking attacked me back with a stick, and it was pretty crazy. And then we realized later that we were like tripping out like really hard, and we shouldn't be for smoking like a little joint. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's
That's
true.
what's so
Chef just said
scary.
he feels like laced weed is from like the 70s or 80s. It's totally not, man. It still happens today. In fact, that's one of the fentanyl problems that you're dealing with on street weed.
Yeah.
The thing about junkie dealers, and it's one of the things I've told my friends for years. You can trust a person, but you can't trust the drugs. So someone does stupid things. You know, you think, why would you cut anything with fentanyl? Fentanyl's so expensive, but you need so little of it that you mix it with anything else, it quadruples the sedentary effect. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just nuts. So assholes will put shit in your shit because they want to maximize their profits. There's no other reason for it.
Yeah.
And when it comes to coke and shit like that in the weed, he probably wasn't even trying to get kids high on coke for the sake of coke. He
Yeah.
probably thought if he could get you
Well-
smoking Choco Pops, then he could convince you to buy crack or convince you to try the other things. Like, oh yeah, that kind of buzz you had, you want that kind of buzz but better. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Because
That's-
I never got the reason why. I was just, it
Yep.
all happened, and I'm like, and I especially didn't retain information because I was fucked. I was like pretty like I remember just being on my deck just on a swing like while like cops and shit were like taking people away. I was just swinging while my dad talked, and it was like whatever. But
It's good salesmanship. It's like free samples at Costco.
I know. I mean, the guy actually, looking back, he's an entrepreneur.
Right.
Yeah, Chef's was saying something about the taste, but there is no taste. My run-in with that was in grade 9, like I was 15 and like or 14 or whatever, and we just started smoking weed, and we'd grown up with Cam's brother, who's 5 years older than us, and they were always doing stuff ahead of us, and they were always like cool or whatever, and so we were always wanting to be like them. And then finally in grade 9, we'd been smoking weed. We're like, when can we smoke with you? And they're like, no, like we're not smoking with grade 9s, like fuck that. And then finally at Christmas, they let us. They're like, sure, like why not? It was me, Cam, McNabb, and they're like, okay, just the 3 of you. And like they rolled up like these 2 little joints. We are like, how are 2 joints gonna get? There was like 5 of them, 3 of us. We did like 2 little rotations, and same thing like you, Cal. Like we've been smoking weed for like a little bit, so we knew what it took to get high. We touched these little joints like once, and it was like everything was. We tried to play NHL in our basement, and like the older guys were just having fun watching us, and we were just like losing our minds. Like, the controls were melting in our hands. Like the one guy became the goalie, and we didn't know how. It was just, oh man, it was chaos. And then we realized they were like, oh no, those are Cocoa Pops. Like you smoke coke. We were like, what?
Yeah, you think for sure, right? Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
you have no idea until you're tripping. Yeah. Thanks
Thanks, guys.
Later.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
my
not
favorite.
telling
That's my
anyone.
favorite.
Must have been the biggest punking ever on them. So it must have been hilarious.
Some of the assholes I know, and the fact that my friends are always like this, always have been. When it comes right down to it, often enough, the surprise factor is sort of the fun of it.
Yeah.
It'll be like, happy birthday. And the guy's like, what do you mean happy birthday? And I'm like, remember that gum we chewed about 20 minutes ago? And the guy's like, yeah. I'm like, I put 3 drops of liquid on it.
Isn't it funny? Isn't it how it's funny? The same thing, if it's done to a stranger versus a friend, it's
a crime.
It's a felony or a
Felony? Yes, absolutely. Yes.
Oh, that guy's my buddy. Okay. He's a friend of yours. You've known him for your entire life. That's fine. Go ahead.
That's fine. Yeah, that's allowed. Yeah, at least Ken had the courtesy to wake me up on my birthday and he called me and he was like, "You're doing acid." And I was like, "Okay."
You guys like psychedelics or what?
I've only
I'm
ever
a
done
huge
mushrooms.
fan.
I like them. They're just heavy. They're crazy.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of mushrooms, but I've never done crazy amounts like I've done.
I had to chill out. I had to just basically say I gotta like not do that shit for a long time because of what I used to do, which was too much all the time, like lots.
Acid too?
Yeah, I was selling this stuff for a while.
Oh shit, bro.
That was a long time ago, mind you. But the thing is, I spent 6 months doing it every day, and we were doing like, I mean, I literally get up in the morning, I'd take a bite out of a sheet and chew a wad in the corner of my mouth like it was chewing tobacco on the way to the store to buy cigarettes, right?
Wow. That's badass.
You're a fucking animal, dude.
Sometimes I forget. Sometimes we forget. Every
Took me
once in a
3
while,
months.
you remind me how fucking badass you are.
Took me 3 months to come down. I remember the trippiest day was when I finally went out after stopping doing drugs, and the trailers and the fucking spirals and the colors had stopped. And it stopped all of a sudden, and I freaked out so hard. I went to this payphone and I called my ex-girlfriend, and I'm like, shit is all fucked up. Something's fucking totally wrong. Something's totally fucked. And she's like, what is it? And I tried to explain it. Finally, I was like, there's no like tracers, there's no colors, there's no. Then I was like, oh shit, I'm not high on drugs right now. That's the only problem.
Wow.
Nothing has changed. I'm actually sober. And I was like, oh, that scared me more than fucking being high ever did. Because it was such a shock. It was like everything was so normal. Everything was so, and I was so used to it. I was working. Nobody guessed. Nobody had any idea. I mean, people knew I was fucked up, but no one had any idea how much shit I was doing because I was going to work. I was going to school. I was doing things. People just had no idea. I was totally
Functioning
transparent.
stoner is the functioning cloud head.
One of our past episodes, Bob talked about the largest drug deal he's ever been involved in, and it involved, was it 5,000 hits or 50,000?
5,000.
It was 5,000 hits of
Jesus.
acid. That the lady,
5 books.
the girl that sold it to him made them into math textbooks.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah, explain
You
it.
could do
Bob.
that?
I forget what episode it is, but there's a whole episode about this.
Yeah, ostensibly the connection we had, she found a way to get them across the border by dipping or soaking certain sheets inside the math book. So there'd be pictures, right? You know, you goes about like there'd be these little jokes and those stupid little cartoons and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, she'd blotter those pages. And
wow.
So what you'd get from her was the books, like, you know, a duffel bag full of math textbooks, and
I know what
some
you
of them,
mean.
and some of the pages are what you need. So then you get the key guard. After you pay, you get the pages to cut out. So you'd text her, it would be a weird exchange. But anyway, the point is, when it goes down, you end up having a bunch of math books, and you cut the certain pages out, and she'd cover the other pages in a light coating of rubber cement so that it wouldn't bleed out.
Oh
But
my
you wouldn't see it.
God.
It was a pretty complicated thing, but at the same time, when you're dealing with quantities of drugs that can send you to prison for life, it's like, well, yeah, okay, I can see you being cautious.
That's
For the record,
crazy, dude.
For the record, all of this, if anyone's listening, is just alleged. All of this is allegedly. Some of these stories, we like to ham it up a little bit. But
Absolutely, this is fiction and fun and fantastic. But the thing is, it's pretty crazy because you know what? No one questions math textbooks. You know what I mean?
Wow, that's blowing my mind right now. That's
I
like Breaking
question
Bad
math
shit.
textbooks all the time.
needless.
And the thing is, they're off year. They're off year. So she bought them like 2 years after they were issued. So they weren't even like the textbooks for that school year.
Yeah.
So I was like, and so the whole thing was, oh, we're shipping these to kids for, you know, in Africa who need educations or something. And that was how we got them around. It was just like, yeah, I work for a charity and I'm just collecting old textbooks for fucking underprivileged children.
All of a sudden, Bob and all his high school buddies are math wizards. Where's Bob and Ricky right now? I think they're doing math in the basement.
Why do they all have math
They love the
textbooks?
math.
Yeah, you see, no, it's really funny actually because you see 4 of us in a back room, like with X-Acto knives, going through the key code for the pages, and then cutting certain pages out of the math textbooks, and then treating them like they're solid gold. But you want to use tweezers, right? You don't want to touch them because it'll go through your fingertips, right?
Yeah. Man, that shit shows you the truth.
It would have been an extra awesome layer if, for you to figure it out, you had to figure out a math equation.
Yeah, but she knew we were fucking drug addicts. She wasn't actually testing our intelligence. She was trying to tell us drugs.
We've got an audience chat question from Sheps here. He asked, "How much was all that math worth?"
Well, I'll give you an equation for that. A single hit is on the street value is $5. A sheet is 100 hits. A book is 100 sheets. So there's your answer.
You do the math.
Wow.
Nice.
That's fucking crazy.
Well, yeah, I ended up sleeping with some guy and his wife in the hotel, waiting for deal to go down.
The plot thickens.
Because I was already trekked out at the time, and I was waiting for her to show up, and I knew she was. So I took the bus to Niagara Falls to meet this woman, and she didn't show up on time. She never did. She's like, she'd give you a couple days, so you'd have to go and hang out, right? And then she'd show up, and it'd be weird. So because she was weird, super weird. And I ended up getting picked up by this woman in the casino on the hotel floor, and it turned out that the reason she was picking me up is because her husband and her were swingers, and they wanted to add some spice to their life. And rather than being weirded out by it, I was so intrigued that I just went for it. I was like, yeah, let's do this thing. Sure, why not? So this scrawny little accountant business guy and his wife, got the total treatment. Yeah. I'm not a man.
Where was
of
that
too much
story
pride.
a couple weeks ago for the orgy story? Jesus.
It wasn't pertinent. It wasn't an orgy. It was, it was an intimate moment between a family and me.
You could bill yourself a marriage counselor.
I thought I was. Telling some guy to stay in his chair. Stay in your chair. Now you watch what I'm doing. Stay in your chair. Yeah, it was awesome.
Did you cuck them?
That's what they wanted. Yeah, it was fun times.
Oh my God, bro. I fucked a couple married chicks. And but I've never actually, that's not true. Some of them was an affair, but most of them was the guy liked it. The guy liked knowing that his wife was a whore. He liked it.
I made his life better, huh?
Rich
I knew a woman. I used to work with a woman on one of the booze cans, and she was she swung for the other team. She was a lesbian and had a lot of success with the women. And we actually used to trade women occasionally as I don't know, a proof of masculinity thing.
Wow.
So she fucked one of my ex-girlfriends, and I heard about it, and she came up to me like any honest dude would. She was like, "Yo, I fucked your girl," and I started laughing so hard because I had stolen this chick from this coke dealer that I knew, and she was not really a good girlfriend, and she was kind of a whore, and I knew that shit, and I was like, meh. And I'm like, listen, if my awesome lesbian friend is T-boning her with a 40-inch fucking rubber cock, I think it's actually kind of like revenge for me, so that's perfect. You just carry on, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have no problem with that whatsoever. My manliness is not hurt in the slightest by you taking that from me. Take it away.
That's so fucking funny, man. So man, that acid shit though. Have you ever seen something crazy when you take a bite of the paper? What?
Oh man. Oh dude. You get so used to seeing weird things. I stopped looking people in the eye, and I still have a problem doing it to this day because people's eyeballs used to crawl.
Yo.
So all my friends and everyone I knew wore sunglasses for a reason, because if you looked at each other in the eye for too long, an eyeball would go and just kind of move.
Oh my God.
Around your face. And for a while, I was convinced that eyeballs had an independent life outside of the human body. They did their own thing at night and stuff. They're just crawling around. So like I said, it wasn't the most honest and normal time of my life. I was pretty bent.
That'd be great. Imagine eyes were independent, like they were separate species, and our eyeballs just inhabited that's part of our body. Think about it.
Yeah, it's like a symbiosis, right?
Yeah, that'll blow your mind.
Think about it.
Don't think about it for too long. But
I'll tell you this, gentlemen, my eyeballs would be up a couple of skirts. Let me tell you.
Fun fact, Trev and Bob, about Kyle Lucey. One of the first times I ever met Kyle, we were doing a show. I feel like maybe I was hosting it and you headlined it, or maybe the opposite, out at Greenleaf Vapor Lounge, which is a vape lounge in Brampton. And on the way back, I was coming back in the city, and I had driven out there. So I gave Kyle a lift, and on the way home, I was like, "Oh, where do you want me to drop you off?" And he gave me the address, and he's like, it was these townhomes, and he's like, "Yeah, I've been having sex with some cougar here for a while." He's like, dropped you off at like midnight to this. You were like, "Yeah, there's this cougar over here that, yeah." She's like, I think you were like, "Yeah, she's like 50." You were like we're so proud of it, and I was proud of you in that moment too.
No, she was 39. I know who you're talking about.
There you go.
I know who you're talking about. She's an ex-stripper.
Attaboy.
Yeah, she's an ex-stripper.
They're just not stripping right now.
Yeah, exactly. But man, I gotta tell you this shit. This is fucking funny. It's mean, but it's funny. But she is also, I shouldn't say, because then it would narrow it down so much.
Yeah, don't say.
Be as general as possible.
Okay, she's trying to do stand-up comedy, right? And then I was like, okay, well, do it. You know what I mean? And then she goes, "Oh, this one guy said I don't know how to perform." She goes like that. I'm like, okay. And then she goes, "Check this out." She turns like all the lights off and she gives me a lap dance. Now we're still talking about comedy here. She gives me a lap dance and then she gets up off me and she's like, "Didn't I say I know how to perform?" I was like, what the fuck? What does that got to do with telling jokes? Try that at a comedy club. I dare you.
Just watch some Just for Laughs episodes. See what you think.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic.
It made me laugh, but I couldn't really laugh. But yeah, that's the girl. You dropped me off. I forgot.
That's when you hand someone a wet nap, and you're like, "That's great. Thank you very much. That's fantastic."
Now when we hear about the female comic in the city who does a lap dance like as part of her routine, we're like, "Well, there it is. We know that."
I might add a lap dance into my routine.
No, see, Lars, what you got to do is you just got to hand out vouchers and tell people I'll come and give them a shiatsu massage, just like Steven Seagal.
Right.
Because Steven Seagal's claim to shiatsu massage was basically that he grabbed a lot of titties and was like, "Yeah, I'm really good at shiatsu massage." You know?
I got to right now. It's just got to be over Zoom, or we got to all open OnlyFans accounts. We all got to become cam girls right now.
Funny story.
What I would do.
Here's some titty. You want some titty? Woo!
What I would do for a pair of tits, gentlemen.
Oh yeah, we should get some screenshot of like tits, but they're not tits. You know, they're just a close up of a door or something, a wood grain door or whatever.
See,
I might actually do that.
Kyle, do you know what's nice about being a giant fat guy? You got your own tits to worry about. You never need to think about it twice.
You heard it here first, folks.
You heard it here first.
Funny story how Kyle
Bobby likes his own tits.
How Kyle and I know each other. Lars and I pre-COVID, we would be on the way to the gym, and we ran into Kyle. It was a neighborhood in Riverside, Lisa, down here in Toronto. But
hang on a sec, Trev. I have to jump in there. I really never ever want that to be a thing. Let's never say pre-COVID ever again. Because if we start measuring our life like BC, AD, pre-COVID, I think I'll go fucking crazy, okay? Anyway, I love you, buddy, but carry on.
I think we're already there, so.
The proper term.
Yeah, we should kill those people. That's not all right.
Crazy.
Proper term is BC, before COVID. We're living in like year zero right now, and then when this year's 2020 is over, then it's 1 AC after COVID.
I like to measure things a little bit in the head. Like I like to be preemptive, like, you know, before Trump's second term, after Trump's second term.
Right.
Oh, Trump. No, I'm kidding.
Speaking of Trump, we do have a U.S. rep on the horn here. I'm going to bring him in. He's also,
where's our New York eyes in the sky?
He's also my brother. He's our New York correspondent. He also wrote the theme song to 39 Drunken Disorderlies. For you have heard the Stingers. What up, Bumpus Ballfields, aka Chris Larson? How are you?
May the force be with you. All is
Yeah,
well.
man.
All is well. Not only did I write your theme, but I wrote the Rangers theme as well. Or I performed, I recorded. And tonight I positioned myself so behind me you can see the garden if you're looking.
Yeah, I can.
That's the garden. That's the garden out the window there.
That's Madison Square Garden, Kyle.
Holy shit, really, eh?
Yeah.
That's out my studio window here.
And
Badass, dude.
So what he was explaining, my brother's a musician and lives in New York, and he way back in the day in the in arena song that comes on when the Rangers score, like their little like anthem. I don't know how you could probably say how it goes.
It goes, let's go Rangers. Let's go Rangers. Whoa. Ba-ba-da. You can look it up. It's on YouTube. It's called Slapshot.
Nice.
But it only gets played in the arena when they cut to commercial, but it's the goal song, and in any league anthem CD, that's the song that's on it. Unfortunately, it's been there for 25 years, but I just got paid the first year. And the first year was similar to this one, where the season didn't begin. That was the season that didn't begin until March. So we actually...
Is that because of the strike?
They won the Cup in '94, and then we didn't release the song until like January or February of '95 because there was no hockey season. So like that was the season they gave me tickets. So there were 8 games.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So
close. So close.
And the funny part is if you look it up online every now and then, they sort of accuse the song of being the reason that the Rangers are not winning, but the song doesn't get played if the Rangers don't score. So it's like it's not really a bar to score. You have to score for the song to be played. They never play the song before a goal is scored. So
that's right. Right. It's not really a metric by which you can gauge how much they're scoring, because unless they score, you never hear it.
You never hear it. But
so
I do.
Pretty much, if you're gonna blame that, it's like you could also say because we painted the seats blue, the Rangers never win.
Right.
Right. It's the same basic metric because there's absolutely no value to that statement. It's that you can't use that for math. It's like because something didn't happen.
It just makes the fans feel good. That's all.
Are you juggling those metal balls in your hands? Is that what you're doing?
Yes, they're jade actually though, not metal.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm doing David Bowie in Labyrinth.
Right.
The Babe.
You remind me of the
Babe.
Dude, you got to do a ransom video, man. Just send a random ransom video of you juggling those balls and just say, if you ever want to see the little girl again, you'll give me the money and keep quiet. Just send it to any address randomly.
Nice.
Well, send a box with a finger. It doesn't matter whose finger. It doesn't matter to where.
You're our leader.
What's the New York update today? What's the word on the street?
Word of the street is that things are starting to open up, and they're looking at lifting the pause on the 15th. But there's many reasons to believe that that's a bad idea, But Como seems to have a strategy, and if they do it properly, if opening up means that you start, with stocking shelves in preparation, then we may be okay. But even the amount of people out in parks and stuff, I mean, we're now looking at, what were they saying? 200,000 fucking people by June 1st. Like the numbers, like this is not, we didn't do everything that we did to stop this. We did everything that we did to slow it down. But the numbers are still looking like, 3,000 people infected a day for the month of May.
Right, but again, infected a day translates to what in fatalities, though?
Well, fatalities matter, but they don't matter. Fatalities will always go up, but they're not worried about society. They are worried about society dying, but it still requires the servicing of those people as you get sick. And herd immunity is only going to happen when 7 people have been sick.
That's right.
It's like it's seven out of 10, or there's no herd mentality, or the immunity.
That's basically true. 86.5% of the population, something in that range or whatever.
It's
pretty
gotta
nuts.
be.
And it depends on the virulence or the cross tolerance. But yes, absolutely, that's true.
But that has to be someone that's either been vaccinated or someone that's had it and recovered from it. What is that going to do? I don't know what it's going to do, but statistically, what it means is that there is 25 coffins on every street in Manhattan. That's what it means. There's 25 funerals going on. Today.
Again, that depends too, and whether the virulency rate remains at the standard predicted model. But that's the problem. There's a lot of variation.
No. That's not predictive. That's today. Today there are 25 coffins on every street in New York City today.
Right. Yes. Sorry. Yes. Okay. That's fine. Yes.
Now, dead aside is, yes, that's a tragedy, and terrible. We don't want that. But what it will be is a continued suppression of the economy, just of people moving around. They're not sure whether getting sick once is enough, so that you are susceptible to getting it again. And that's just going to keep everything. And look, so what? We open back up. Could you imagine if your job stopped on a Friday, didn't operate for 2 months, and then you go back, and so everybody showing up is going to be all stressed the fuck out, but nothing works because it's been 2 months since anything worked. You don't have any tape for your register. You don't fucking have any toilet paper in your bathroom. You don't have fucking, packages for fries. It's like nothing has happened. It's not like they kept stocking up the shelves here. It's like when they open it back up again, they got to deal with what it's been like for 3 months to not have anything. Like even mitigation for stuff that I do for soundproofing and stuff is already on 6-month back order. So even when people want to reconfigure their office space and put up plexiglass walls, try and order a plexiglass wall for an office right now. It's 6 months before you can get one. So that means
a friend of mine installs the sneeze guard shield walls at the subway restaurants.
Yeah.
And they had to stop work on 200 and something sites or whatever because they basically didn't have any plexiglass left.
Yeah, no, they haven't even started to fit these places out yet. There's going to be a level of social intelligence that's required. You need to know who your friends are and who their friends are. You need to know that 1 in 7 of every person that knows 7 people that they know that are also immune to it. It's like, otherwise you just don't know. And we're getting weird things happening here where people are getting sick with other conditions, but they're discovering they're related. It's getting into heart tissue, and it's causing, weird kidney failure, weird rashes, like all kinds of crazy shit going on. It's like emergency room doctors here who,
Thanks,
guys that
China.
are,
Thanks.
emergency doctors like Jared, or doctors they've told them don't even bother coming in because we're not treating anything except for people that come in that exhibit COVID, symptoms. That's it. And they're like, and a good many doctors that are in an emergency, that's not their forte. So they're not even asking them to come in. So there are shifts of doctors and nurses that are not working, and there is portions of hospitals that are empty because they can't bring you in with your broken leg through the building that everybody is sick. So there's also a bunch of people kind of sitting around going, we want to help, but we're not qualified to help, and they can't use our services. That's why they had to set up extra field hospitals here. The field hospitals were to take emergency cases for the, all the crazy shit that happened to people, stabbing themselves in the hand trying to take the pit out of an avocado, and they need stitches. You can't get stitches in any hospital in New York City. You have to go to some fucking boat in the fucking Hudson River, that the Navy sent us to get stitches in your hand because they just can't take a risk of, contamination. It's nuts. The streets are empty, but apparently all the 18-wheelers parked outside of the hospital are full. Like it's, so, it's.
And this has been this week's episode of Good News from New York City.
It's called, and alive from New York City.
Yeah.
Oh, good news.
It's Monday night, live from New York City.
I bring this up only because if you're somewhere where the cases are not high, that's just till next week. That's nothing special. It's like, look anywhere around the world where this has happened, and there is nowhere that shut it, with the exception of a Korea or somewhere like that. Like, if you're not being tracked right now. So that means when you fuck off out of your house and you contact someone at the dog park or at your local 7-Eleven or wherever you're going, the assumption is I'm okay, they're okay. But the numbers around the world are not.
Next to the beer store. That's different.
Look, I'm out every day, so like it's like I'm probably then a super carrier. It's like I am. The reason I'm not getting sick is because I'm the guy that's making everybody else sick. But there's nowhere in the world where numbers have been low that the numbers didn't all of a sudden get incredibly high, and it takes about a month before you start to see those numbers. So
right.
you have to be very aware. We're not going to let everybody out in May, and June, July 4th, you're going to start to see the ramifications of everybody that was running around in May.
I like that prediction, July 4th. That's good.
Yeah. Well, we are trying to open up, like Memorial Day. How the fuck are we going to keep everybody in on May 2-4 weekend? You can't go barbecuing. You can't get outside. You can't hang out with your friends. And of course, the tendency, as soon as you're hanging out with people, you begin to lean in. You're getting closer to everybody. But
part of the bailout and relief is free Zorbs for everyone. Everyone just gets their own Zorb. They go around in a bubble. We can all party together in bubbles.
Yeah, no, they should be giving that shit out. Look, every company that has something to give away, fashion companies, everything, they should be giving shit away. Like I said to you this afternoon, or the last time I talked to you, it's like it should just be, if you got a warehouse full of T-shirts, give your product away at this point, because nobody has practiced for 6 months with zero income. How do you run a business? Nobody said, hey, we're going to open up a business and keep all the lights turned on and everything working, but for 6 months we're not accepting money.
This podcast has a brilliant track record of operating zero income. So,
right.
We are proving the model. We're going strong. We are still going strong.
I was gonna say, since all of us make a grand total of absolutely fuck all doing this, we are ahead of the curve, in fact.
Yeah, no, you should be putting books out. You should be doing speeches at empty Holiday Inns.
That's right.
We
right next to the Science Fi convention or the fucking, NAMBLA meetings down the hall or something.
Uh-huh.
Chapter 1, don't eat all day.
That's right.
We are working on some new things. We're going to have some subscription models for our super fans, maybe some merch coming out pretty soon. Maybe I feel like some courses from Bob. Bob, I feel like you could put together maybe a course on fucked up things that bouncers should know, like 39 crazy fucking ways to defend yourself at a bar. Or
we can also do a cooking show. I think we should do a cooking show. I think also we should have fans request recipes that I should try to make, because I'll fuck them up and it'll be funny.
Well, legal. Can't you offer legal advice? I mean, 39 drunken
Of course I
disorderlies.
I can offer legal advice. If you want legal advice, you just let me know. I'm right there for you.
Isn't 1-800-COPPER? Isn't that like old law enforcement that tells you how to get out of tickets?
Yeah, ex-copper.
Ex-copper, yeah.
You just have
Absolutely.
You have to put
I'm
the
not
word
law enforcement, but I can teach you how to bullshit your way out of a small charge. That's for sure.
No, me too.
You just have to put the word legal in quotation marks.
Right.
Legal advice.
How to navigate the legal system.
Yeah.
Best thing a judge ever said to me was, there's no such thing as guilty with an explanation, and I took the fifth. So if you don't know anyone that's ever taken the fifth, I've taken the fifth.
Nice.
But that was he said, I'm
anyone
sorry,
who's ever been busted on the TTC bylaw, knows that there is no such thing as like a fair trial with the TTC, because every one of the laws you can possibly break, except for the criminal code, which you'll be arrested and taken to real court for, are a violation of a posted sign. And violation of a posted sign implies that you should have read it, you could have read it, you didn't, so it's your fault. Hence, it's the only court in Canada where you arrive guilty and have to plead circumstances to get a lesser fine. You're always going to pay something. But it's the only court in Canada where you are basically assumed guilty on arrival.
Well, that's it.
Yeah.
If you get yourself a court, if you cannot afford an attorney and they appoint you one, you will lose and you will be charged the exact amount that it costs for that attorney. So you can pay for the attorney and win, or you can have an appointed attorney given to you and you will lose, and then you'll be on the hook for whatever the legal fees were for that court-appointed attorney.
Oh, what's fantastic about the TTC, I mean, I've had this, I got a great one. I mean, my Presto card didn't work, and I ended up getting like a $450 fucking fine or some shit. So I went to the court, obviously, and I pleaded core because I knew I was guilty right away. So I just basically said to the lady, I'm like, I know you're going to say I'm guilty right away, despite the fact that I was blind, didn't see the sign, thought I'd tapped on, total communication, probably a mechanical malfunction on your part, and I still came here. So let me tell you,
bro.
I'm just broke. So what do you want? Do you want blood from a stone?
Yeah.
I just took another day off work to come here to try and sort this shit out. And she dropped it from 450 to 50.
Bro, I've been fined by the TTC, and it's fucking brutal, man. And you know what? They're like profiling. It was so fucked up, man. Like I remember, dude, they were like they were crazy. No, they pulled me over, and I was like wearing a suit, and they were like, "Well, we see how well you're dressed," and then they didn't even get mad at me.
Nice.
And they said like if I was like dressed a little bit like more tarnished, they said, you know, I don't know. I felt like they just gave me a pass.
I got no pass, none whatsoever. I got raked over the coals. They gave me the biggest ticket they could for no particular reason, and we're just totally whack about it. It was insane. It was insane.
Yeah,
the prosecutor, also, when he got, it was one of the craziest places, one of the few government offices I've ever seen, where they have like a fully functioning credit card machine, cash machine. They'll take cash, credit, debit, check, gold. I don't know, your firstborn. Whatever it is, they're ready to take it. Like, they got the payment options open, you know? You ever tried to pay a fine? You got to, like, mail things in and stuff. Not with GTC, man. You walk up and, like, scan your thumbprint, and they'll charge you. They know exactly what's up.
Isn't it really trippy with the TTC now? Like, you have to, like, print a fucking computer chip. You see that?
Yeah.
You got to scan the computer chip. My buddy designed those. The fucking not the computer chip, but the
QR. You got a QR code?
Yeah,
QR
or something
code.
like that. But unfortunately, he passed away. He died a couple of years ago in a car accident. But yeah, me and him were pretty close. He always used to like come into my room just in his underwear and stuff like that.
That was your friend that passed away.
Yeah. Why? What?
Very nice of you to bring him in on today's discussion.
What do you mean? Oh yeah. Just gotta keep the memory alive.
Yeah. Or we've just figured out the piece of equipment that's required for paranormal discovery.
What are you
Zoom.
talking about?
It's the Zoom anus cam.
I haven't seen him in like 5 years.
Yeah, well. At any rate, what time is it, Lars?
8:58. Oh, there he is. We lost Trev for a minute. Yeah, there he is. He's back on.
And we're back.
Yeah, there he is. Nice. I have a couple quick questions before we lose Kyle, or before we shut her down here. And I like to do this for comparison. Also, on behalf of the sound guy, our New York City correspondent, we got to lose those balls. It's driving me crazy. Like,
oh, really? You
clack, clickety clack. Yeah, we hear you. Yeah.
Oh, do you really? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You know, Drop my
All right.
balls.
There it is. Put your balls down. No playing ball.
Trying to break your mental balls.
So usually in Bob's stories, he always talks about like the amount he's consumed. So I'm interested in some of your stories. I don't know if there's specific instances where you can think of like how many beers consumed or shots or like bottles of whatever. Like let's get back to some of those stories.
I know that there's been, I'm just going to close my door. There's the highest I've been, and there's also the drunkest I've been. Both are pretty quick. The highest was a lot of acid. And I remember when you look at an apartment building, it's like there's a balcony. Like if you see an apartment building, you just see all these little balconies.
Right.
The balconies combined together and turned into fucking spiders crawling up the building or some shit like
fingers, that. Metal bars. Oh, for sure, dude.
Dude, and I was looking at the CN Tower. Yeah, I was like looking at the CN Tower. I was like, no! I was like, you just see this guy downtown freaking out. But the drunkest I've been, man, was you ever get those bottles of wine that are 1.5 liter?
Like the jugs?
Yeah. So I did that, like 4 beers and 2 shots. And I just remember the last shot, I was like, I better not do this. Like, I was like fucking puking and shit. And I just said to myself, like, let's see what my human form can handle. And I did it. Yeah. And the next day, honestly, I puked and it felt so I just remember just like yelling, oh God, I'm never done. Just cursing at myself. It was the worst pain I've ever felt. I puked all over a cab.
From the drunken gods.
Dude, that's when I like stopped drinking. Like it was like fucking crazy.
How old were you? When was this? How long ago?
A couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 or 3. It was the drunkest I've ever been in my life. In my fucking life.
Where was it?
In Toronto. Like it wasn't even at the trailer park or anything like that.
Out and about? You're at a bar?
Yeah.
Home,
yeah, that's the thing. Like I can't let myself loose in Toronto the way I could at a trailer park with trees everywhere. Because I don't know about you guys, but I exclusively piss outside. Like, hell yeah. Hell yeah. And like, I'm drunk and I'm pissing on, I don't even find a corner. I'm on Queen Street, pissing all over like a fucking dress shop, hammered. And like, you know.
So now I know who it is.
Yeah, right?
Our door is right next to Prohibition, which has now gone bankrupt, which you used to work for as well.
Yeah.
And I would say like maybe, I feel like every third weekend on a either a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning, I would smell a hint of piss in my like doorway where it's really a drunk guy at like 2:30 who just every doorway is a urinal when you're drunk.
Just ripping it out,
dude.
Dude, sometimes if you get a nice windy day during a pee, you know in the Olympics the ribbon, you know what I'm saying? Where they dance with the ribbon?
Yeah, but the baton with ribbon. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
When the wind like hits my piss, it's fucking beautiful. It's breathtaking. It reminds me just of the ribbon in the Olympics.
It's called
the flapping foreskin of ribbon dance just entrances you, does it?
Yeah,
dude.
I believe that's
hell
called
yeah.
Interpretive urine dance.
Yeah, and then the sun hits it and it glistens, and then I just turn around and there's like 8 homeless dudes and they hold up 10s.
That'll be the title of your biography. Kyle Lucey, pissing in the wind.
And is urine
like that.
Is urine a disinfectant? You might be doing society a favor by doing that.
Not really.
I'm treating it like it.
Not really? No. Okay.
Dude, as long as it's my pee on my hands, he's fine, baby.
All right. What's the verdict on that? Is urine like Purell or not? It's not.
No.
No.
Oh. It's nothing like Purell. It's not even close. and quite the contrary. In fact, I mean, urea is good for disinfecting wounds because it'll kill some bacteria, but it's not cleanly. I wouldn't advise you douse yourself in it.
All right, you heard it here first, audience members. We do
So,
not advise dousing yourself in
drinking is off the table.
39
Nope,
drunk and
actually-
disaffected.
Actually, drinking is not as bad for you, to be honest.
I'm
The
listening.
the bacteria in your stomach can handle it. It's the bacteria in open wounds on your skin that has a problem sometimes. Anyway, wash your hands, motherfucker.
Yeah, they say that your alcohol application should be 60% alcohol, so that makes me drink about 12 beers each time I sit down, so I'm clearly cleansed to 70%.
There you
alcohol.
go. There you go. Absolutely. I'm the kind of guy that drinks 15 tall boys and then calls for a bottle of liquor from the dial of things. So, I get you.
Yeah, you got to read between the lines on these recommendations of how to stay safe during these pandemics.
Absolutely.
And why do you think they left that's why they left the liquor store open?
That's right. That's right. So we can all piss our own hand sanitizer.
That's right.
Thanks, Kyle. You brought that to our attention. So remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you're ever wondering how to keep yourself safe during a pandemic, just drink a whole shitload of 40 proof, piss on yourself.
Well, that makes social distancing much easier.
Yeah, especially at the Golden Shower Lounge.
Yeah.
You only gotta stay one spray length away.
That's why Trump doesn't understand what's going wrong with the world.
That's right.
It's like normally nobody comes around him because he's in a pair of Depends and he likes to pee on people.
That's right.
Now that I got us
Fantastic.
talking about piss here, I do sell bottles of it. I have about 8 in my room. If anyone wants to buy it, I could strap my own label on it, whatever you want. Nike.
What's it go for? What are you thinking? Is it pay what you can, or you got premium pricing? What's the price? Shout it
I'll
out.
take $6 for all of them.
$6, all the piss you can buy. The Kyle Lucey piss blowout.
All right. So if you go to Kyle Lucey's website, which we'll be posting in our background material here, you'll be able to buy yourself some real authentic piss jugs.
Yeah.
$6 for all of them. I mean, fuck, you might get a U-Haul full of piss jugs for $6. I mean, really, I'd pay the rental.
We'll throw in a couple empty Kleenex boxes just for good measure.
Yeah, okay.
I'm actually going to go out on record right now and say that I think that I'm not going to do it myself, but if you're listening and you're on the fence right now about that $6 deal, I think it's actually a good investment given the economy right now. Buying Kyle Lucey's piss, he's an up-and-coming stand-up comic. He's an up-and-coming not up-and-coming. He's a headlining stand-up comic, and he's an actor, been in a ton of stuff. And he's like, if you go on Reddit, or if you go to when society reopens, if you go to the Corner Comedy Club, he hosts the Renegade show. That piss, if you just buy it, put it on a mantle, it'll be worth way more someday. That's like, it'll one day be celebrity piss.
Every piss jug comes with a
like
heartfelt
fine
"I
wine,
love you"
gentlemen.
note.
I don't know, man. I have my doubts. I don't think it values up like fine wine. I don't think it gets better over time, or like it ages. I think it's basically just piss in a jug from another crazy motherfucker that we had in our show, and I'm cool with that. But I'm not fucking paying for it, y'all. I'm just not.
Well,
Maybe that should just be our thing. Maybe that's our 39DD thing, is we get a piss sample of every guest on here. You gotta piss into a empty Corona bottle.
What the hell is this
yeah.
Minority Report? What are we're gonna steal your genes? Just keep pissing in the jugs and say, okay, Trev, that's a great idea. And guess what? You can send all of the urine to the show to Trevor, because he's gonna sort and catalog our urine collection for us, right?
yeah, we have a strict rule.
Courtesy of Bob's Mouth. P.O. Box.
Yeah, because I'm totally, absolutely not going to be the piss cataloger. That's not happening.
Do you guys know what a piss boy is?
I already worked at a fucking, you know what a jizz mopper is?
No.
Yeah, okay. I've done that for a living, so fucking don't worry about what a piss boy is.
There's a previous episode. If you scroll back to our catalog, one of the episodes has the word porn mops in it, and you can watch and listen all about Bob's porn mop story. Actually, it kind of applies to Chris. Tell him in a nutshell. It's important. Give a teaser to listeners right now so they can go back, find the porn mop episode. I can't wait to turn it into
Okay,
the
no
animated
problem.
series.
Absolutely. So basically, as follows: if you work in a porn store, I've ever been to a porn store that has a fucking private viewing booth in the back. Well, some poor unfortunate fellow, or lady, or madam, or zer, or whatever, eventually has to go back there and clean on everybody's happy hanky time. And happy hanky time basically means everyone's jizzed or squirted or fucking rubbed their shit all over everything, and you got to mop it out. That's what a jizz mopper is. Person that goes along in the porn theater and cleans out all the horrifying stalls. So there you go. Private viewing booths. Jizz mopping. It's amazing where that shit goes.
Amazing.
Dude, you ever get a bunch of jizz on the ground and just do a line of it? Be honest.
No.
I love my job. Just like a huge puddle of jizz. Whoa! Who's this guy? You know what I mean? He's the employee of the month.
I don't think anybody who ever jizz mopped ever even attempted to use the words "I love my job." I think that was like excluded from our vocabulary inherently by the nature of the work. It was like, nope, job. I just can't love this job. Like, I just can't.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
There's an episode there you can check out. Oh, something else we got to touch on here. We're like Canadians, and we've been doing this whole Canadians and whatnot. And we recently applied for some sponsorship help from CBC's grant community. So that's pretty exciting. We're in the real world of looking for money, which is kind of funny in the COVID times. It's kind of like we're out there begging like everybody else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I just wanted to drop that for everyone else for some exciting news. We're
It is
involved in
very
that.
exciting.
And every creator should be interested in the fact that we are such fucking geniuses that we deserve our own show. I mean, that's just the thing. So
Yeah.
support us, guys. Come on. Anyhow, yeah. Do you have any audience questions floating out there for either our lovely guest Kyle Lucey or for any one of our regular host of syphilitic morons?
Darth Vader, any questions? Ketcheson, any questions?
I got a question on the email. Kyle said, "Can y'all breakdance? Are you gonna show us your breakdancing skills, Kyle, or what's the deal?"
Yeah, I can break dance. You guys don't fucking see it or what?
A little bit.
Break it out.
Can you
Do
show
it,
us the
because I fucking
sample?
certainly cannot break dance.
Okay, check this.
Oh, okay. We're getting. He's disappeared, and he will
I think
reappear.
it just never came back.
Yeah. We just hear the car. They should have made some noise to get back on the screen.
You guys ready for me to break dance?
Yeah, born ready.
Check this shit out, boy. Boy, shit.
I think we all loved it.
That was impressive. If you're listening to this right now and you didn't see the visual, you got to flip over to Facebook or YouTube and watch the video on that one.
You can't. You
That
do
was
not want to
that was
miss
some
that.
skill. That was the kind of skills you only see on a show like this.
That's video exclusive, and I'm pretty sure we saw Rogue Man's ass pop into frame earlier in the episode.
What? What do you mean?
Oh, really?
What are you talking about? My frame?
Yeah, a little behind you. You had a little OTS lingo for over the shoulder. You had over the shoulder wedgie ass.
I'm home alone right now.
Weird. You have a man ass ghost in.
He has a sphincter geist.
Wait, what are you talking? What do you look like?
Sphincter
Kind of
guys.
shaggy hair, kind of skinny fat, not in shape, but not out of shape. Like,
Oh, that's impossible. That reminds me of my friend Jake, who died 5 years ago.
oh wow, we've come full circle.
I don't understand.
I don't know. Maybe I just saw it. Maybe it was a glitch in the Matrix, and I just see man wedgie.
No, we'll watch it back live later to prove that ghosts really exist. That's key.
Right.
I thought it was one of those Zoom backgrounds,
Right.
that you could just,
Yeah,
you could put
yeah.
everything out.
Oh,
I'm just
right,
like,
right.
I'm not anywhere near Madison Square Garden. This is just like option number 4.
Yeah, I'm not actually in my basement. This is actually a brothel in Taiwan. It's it's amazing what I can do.
No, none of us are at home on this call right now. It's like, this is all bullshit, man. This is fake news, man. It's like,
That's right. We're here to deceive you, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm proud to be part of a false flag episode, for helping.
What do you think they all are? What flag?
Yeah,
There's no flags here.
Yeah.
Just revolution. Just revolution.
I'm not worried about any of it because the pandemic has not reached intergalactic levels. Apparently, we're still safe on Endor. Death Star has 0 cases reported as well, so we're all good.
Yeah, do you think
Damn,
the Empire?
son.
Do you think the Empire would report the fucking cases, or just toss your ass into the energy matrix and watch you blow out into space? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Damn, yeah. The Emperor's a cold motherfucker, bro.
Seriously, that man is serious. That's right, that man's serious. He'd be like, "I'm sorry. Do you think this is the COVID we're looking for? I don't know." And just jettison a bunch of guys out into space, no problem.
Yeah.
We'll get bored.
Move 6,000 masks to the dark side.
Give in to the virus. Give in.
Darth Vader, we need 400 ventilators to planet Naboo.
Accept the vaccination.
All right, well, Bill Gates and friends are ending the show tonight. That's fantastic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us on one of these insane trips down the rabbit hole with my lunatic friends and myself. We love you guys. You're the best. Remember, support us on all of our fellow channels and look for our back catalog on YouTube because we're everywhere. We're everywhere. I mean, shit, probably tonight you'll be sitting in the bathroom taking a crap thinking you're all alone, but I'll be there.
Make sure follow us on all the platforms. Did you just say that? Maybe you just,
I think I did, but that's okay.
Yeah. Hit us up. Mostly Instagram.
You know our platforms, like, we're on Instagram, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're everywhere, man.
I would
Literally everywhere.
My recommendation, make sure to subscribe to YouTube, have a podcast one so that when you're on the go you can listen to the podcast. But most importantly, follow Bob on Instagram at 39DD Show. You get daily musings from Bob. You get to see him.
That's the most raw. That's the most raw. It's where you're most likely to see me break down and say something horribly inappropriate that'll get me arrested. It's probably where it'll happen.
You can direct message Bob too. And this is a guy who for a long time was a ghost. He had no social media presence. Like, the guy barely exists on paper, but somehow we have convinced him to operate our Instagram account from time to time. So please connect with him.
No, it's actually really disturbing to me. It's disturbing, but I'm there for you, gentlemen. I'm there for you.
And hit up Trey the actor as well at Laughing Vikings as well, and Kyle Juicy. Yeah, at Kyle Juicy on Instagram. That's the best place to find you.
Hell yeah, at Kyle Juicy on Instagram and on TikTok. I pretty much am president and founder of Juice Nation Athletics. We welcome everyone, every juice head out there. If you ever want to get juicy, just give me a follow.
Juice Nation, I like it.
All right,
For all the juice heads.
Once again, with our Lucey Juicy, our guest Kyle Lucey. That was fantastic tonight. What a great episode, guys. May the 4th be with you. All of you nerds at home, remember, it was Endor. I called it. Enjoy space, and we'll see you guys on the dark side. Peace out, man.
Peace out, yo.
Yo.